Hey guys, welcome back. In this video we're going to discuss all about how to add the validation in the form using React.js. I do not use any third-party library. I just use simple React code that will help us to add the validation inside our info field. So let's look at the project that we will create. When I press the enter in a minute, enter, I'm able to see that each field have a different errors. Let's say I will add the details on each field, each input field. Let's say I will use input is admin and hit enter. I can't see any more error inside our first one input field. So let's fill the another input details right and admin OnlineITtuts. I'm gonna fill all the information that I require to register the user. Like I'm going to use something, hit enter, and when you will press the console, you have seen the successfully submitted message, and also you have seen the email, first name, last name, and so on and so forth is appear inside your console. You can move the particular details on the server or on the database as you want, but I'm going to show you how you can add the validation using React.js. So I go to my code editor and I'm going to close that, and I'm going to open my copy of this one project. You can't see anything else inside, it's just a basic structure of the React.js. So let's see, I'm going to use npm run there, and you will get the default few things inside that, like a simple app text has been appear inside the field. So yeah, so we're gonna work on it to make a validation, form validation. So let's see, the first one is we need to design the simple form. So let's say I will use a class name is container, and I'm gonna what happened. In the container I will use the registration form. After that I will use form wrapper. On the form wrapper I will use the form tag that will help us to add the form details on inside the form field. Add the form control. On each form control I'm going to add the input field type is text, and I'm going to add the name. Name is very important to get the values from the input field. So I'm going to use first name. I'm going to leave the other things just, and also I will use the placeholder as well to display first name. I'm going to get the second time, and that will last name, and also I need to change the name last name. Get the third one, and that will user name. I'm gonna put in the first one character is large, and also we need to change the username. Get it, and that will email, and I'm going to choose the type is all, and then placeholder is email. I'm gonna get that, and I'm gonna last field I'm gonna add it password. ML user, I'm gonna use password as well, and I'm gonna use placeholder as password. Inside the form field you need to enter the button tag, and I'm gonna use type is submit. I'm gonna use register. That's it. Save, and look at that, our form field. We need to manage it using CSS. So I need to use, this is a very basic CSS properties that help us to remove the box sizing, padding, and so on and so forth. So the next thing, I'm going to select my body in a minute, and I'm going to change the background color with the URL. I'm going to get the image from my assets folder. BC, not repeat. And I'm going to use font family is like the home and so on and so forth. And I want to display the content in the center of the page, so I will use the display property flags. Justify on center, align it in center, and also I need to assign the min height. I'm gonna add it 90 VH. Background color will be light gray. So we're gonna save it and let's look at that. Everything is up here in the center. You have an image, and yeah, cool. Let's select the container and I'm gonna assign the width 580, and inside that I'm gonna use the background color will be white. I also use the border is 5 pixel. Box shadow also I'm gonna add it 10 pixel, and that is. Then we need to select the container. Inside that I have a H2. I'm gonna use the padding top and bottom 1 rem, left and right. Zero text align center. Font size I will use 2.5 rem, and also I'll use the box shadow as well on this 2 pixel. So we need to save it, and let's look at that, guys. And also I need to change, yeah, there's a mistake. Good. So let's design the info fields. In the info field, the first one is I'm going to select the farm tag. I'm going to add the padding all side to make a space. Select the farm control. First when I'm going to check it, yeah, farm control, and I'm going to use the margin bottom 1 name to make a space. So we need to save it and look at that. Let's select the form control. On each form control have an input field, so we need to select it. Use width 100%. I'm going to use padding top and bottom 0.7, left and right 0.5 rem. Font family I will use in height. Font size I will use 1 rem. Outline none. Border none, but I'll use the border bottom 1 pixel solid and the color of the light gray. So we need to save it and look at that, guys. Don't focus on these icons. Basically these are coming from my extension, so yeah, so don't focus on that. Let's design the button tag. And in the button tag, the first one is I'm going to use outline none, border is a none. I'm going to use padding top and bottom 0.7 rem, left and right 2 rem. Background color I will use R2 at B463. Our font family in height. Font size I will use 1 rem. Margin top I will use 1 rem, and we need to use few more things. Like I want to display that in the right side, so I will use a display property block. Once you use display property block, then you can access it like margin, padding, and so on and so forth. So I'm going to use margin left auto to display that button in the right side, and also I'm going to use cursor pointer to display the cursor as a pointer. Last thing I'm going to add it border radius 5 pixel. That's it. So look at that, and also I'll use the color will be white. That's perfect. Look at that, guys. So this is a simple form, so we will work on it to add the validation on each info field. So it is very important and very helpful for you, right? So let's work on it. So the first thing you need to do, you need to create a function like const handle submit. I'm going to pass in the parameter like e and e.prevent default, and I'm going to copy the function and I'm going to call it on submit. When I submit that, then this function will execute, right? So let's create a state, and we're going to access the value from my input fields. So I'm going to use const form data set form data, use state and I'm gonna pass the parenthesis object in a minute. I don't need the callback like this one. So in the curly brackets you need to add the values, the default values. I'm gonna use first name, nothing, last name, nothing, and username, nothing, email is nothing, and last thing I'm gonna add it, password is nothing. Once you get assign the values nothing on each state in the default, then you can assign the values on there. So in a minute you will use that. So the next thing I'm gonna call it console.log farm data. I just check it's working or not. So I'm gonna open the console and I'm gonna press the submit. Yeah, I'm getting the values like email, first name, and so on so forth appear inside our console. Great. We're gonna use that to add the validation. The next thing you need to do, you need to create a handle change event. So in the handle change event you will get the values from input field when user will change the value inside the input field. So let's see, const handle change. I'm gonna use, so inside that I need to destruct the values from this one. So which value? The first one is name, the second one is value from e.target. Then the next thing you need to do in a minute, okay, e.target, yeah. So we need to assign these values inside our form data, set form data function. The default, you can't see anything else inside these fields, but you need to get the values when user will change the value inside the input field. You will understand everything one by one. I'm going to pass the set form data and I'm going to target my particular state like form data. So I'm going to get it and I'm going to pass the values like name, because it is a multiple values, so we need to assign it as an array. And the next one is I need to get the values. That's it. You need to get the function and you need to add the function inside on change and you need to paste the function, right? The next thing you need to add it, when you will add the function, then the next thing you need to assign the value, right? The value is coming from your farm data and the first name. That's it. You need to do same thing on each input field, but you need to change the values like last name. I'm gonna get it, I'm gonna paste on there, that will username, get it, I'm gonna paste on there, and that is our email, and I'm gonna paste on there as well, and that will password. So let's see what you will get inside the console. I'm gonna paste admin, hit enter. Okay, I can't see anything inside the console. So what I need to, okay, I'm gonna check it what you will get, because I need to add, just a minute, admin. Yeah, I'm getting the values from the first name. When I will add the last name as you can see, admin, OnlineITtuts, and so on so far is appear inside our console when you will enter the values inside the fields. Right. The next thing, you need to create another function that will help us to add the errors inside the input field. So yeah, so we're gonna create in a minute const inside the handle submit. Remember, I'm gonna create a variable validation error, and I'm gonna use it to validate form. In the validate form, we need to pass the form data like this one. Don't worry, where is the validated form? We need to create that. So I'm gonna use const validate form, and I'm gonna pass the parameter as a data. By using that function, we will display the error on each input field, right? So let's say I'll create a error is object, because I will display the different type of error on each input field. Let's see, I will select if not data dot first name, means you can't see anything else inside the first name. Then I'm going to select the errors like this one, and I'm going to select the first name and assign the values. First name is required. Required. Let's see the output first, then I will add another errors. I'm going to use it written as errors, right? The next thing, you need to select the set, but you need to create also states. The first state is in a minute. So handle change, I will create a state on there. The first is errors, the next one is set errors. Use this state, parenthesis, and an object. So I'm gonna get the set error function, and where is my handle change, and I'm gonna call it validator form like this one, right? And the next thing, we need to display the particular error on each input field. So I need to select this one instead. So let's say, where is the first one name, like input field. Outside of the info field, I will use curly brackets. I'm going to select the errors. This is my state. Inside that, my first name is true. Then I'm going to select the span tag, and I'm going to use errors. First name. I think some okay. Errors first name. Yeah. So let's see what you will get inside the console. Yeah, I can't see anything else inside the console. I just see the error on there. When I will enter something, you can't see anything else inside the input field. Okay, let's move on. So let's do the multiple times, and that will data is last name, is last name, and the last name is required, and that will username, and also I need to select the username, and that will email. Also I'm going to change it to username is required, email data is email, email, and you can use the email as well on there. And but also I will use the in a minute. I'm going to also validate the email if else if validate email. I'm going to pass the data email. I'm gonna display another error as well on there. Errors.email, and I'm gonna use invalid. Like this one. So I'm going to create a function outside of this one, like this one. And inside that I will get the format from my this one file, and here's the format. So I'm going to use the format like this one, and I'm going to add it as very simple things. Const read. I'm going to paste that, but also I will use this one. And we need to use return keyword, return.tells function, and I'm going to pass it as an email as a parameter. That's it. You will get another error when user will enter invalid format on the email address. Great. So let's see the last thing. I'm going to edit password, and that will password. Right. So I'm going to leave that, and we're going to use same tactics that we have used on there on each input field, and that will last name. And also I need to select it, last name. Get it? And that will username. And also I'm going to add it, username. That will email. And that will email. And that will password. Yeah. So that will also password. So first we need to save it, and let's look at that, what you will see. Yeah, first name is required, last name, username, email, and I need to fix the last one is password is required, right? So yeah, email is required. When I will enter like this one, and I will get another error. Okay. Okay, I think I will use the numbers like, but you can add the invalid format according to this section. You will get this one error, like invalid email address. Great. Means you have seen the error on each input field. So the next thing you need to do, you need to open that, and you need to add the object. Means you need to target your validated form if that will success to display all the information inside the console. So let's say I will use object.keys validator error, like this one, dot length have a nothing, means 0. Then I need to move on the body of the f, and I'm going to use successfully submitted, and I'm going to call the form data that have our data. That's it. So let's see one by one. I'm going to use admin online, not that, OnlineITtuts, and I'm going to use password something. Yeah, great. You have seen the successfully submitted, and you have received the details inside the console. Great. But here is some post details like email and so on and so forth. Username is up here in the last one. You can fix it by store the details inside the database. Am I right? So let's add the style on each box or each span tag. So after this one, I'm gonna use form control, and I'm gonna select the span tag. I'm gonna use color will be white and display block, and I'm gonna use margin top to make a space 0.2, and that's it. So we need to save it, and look at that, guys. Okay, why I can't see this one is the last name. In a minute I need to fix that last name. Where is span tag? Where was last name? In a minute. Just a minute, I will leave this one and I just select the form tag. Yeah, great. This is the appear outside of this pane, outside of the form control, so it should be displayed the great thing. So let's try one more time. I'm gonna edit admin OnlineITtuts. Yeah, great. Look at that in the right side, guys. So this is a very simple video all about how you can add the validation in the React.js inside the form. So thank you very much for watching. Have a nice day.